Hello, and welcome to another edition of the DPNews Online video podcast. This one for the week ending July 27th, 2008. From 2007, Sarah Elizabeth talks about her senior class project at the NGFDA Fall Festival in Helen, Georgia. And then from our YouTube files showing you what else is out there instructional on the web in the way of dulcimers, we take a look at the Quintin Stephens Master Class series. Thank you for tuning in, and now Dan Landrum interviews Sarah Elizabeth.
Okay, this is my senior project this year. I graduate in May, so I'm officially beginning this in January. But what we're doing, we're starting up a dulcimer choir for kids with autism and Williams syndrome in Tennessee. We're working with Davidson County, which is the county that Nashville is in, and then my county, Sumner County. We've purchased 10 dulcimers, and we're going into the school system and working with groups of kids for 3 weeks. There'll be two workshops for 3 weeks in Metro County, Davidson, and then I'll be teaching in March and April 2 sets of the workshops in my county every day. And then on March 8th, I've organized a benefit concert that will be held at Vanderbilt University's Blair School of Music that will purchase instruments for these kids that will be the final performing group that we'll have picked from the kids that we worked with before. And I've signed on a bunch of local acts, and I'll be playing that night. And we hope to raise enough money to buy 20 instruments. And that's what we're doing. I think I'm working as an unpaid intern for the very special people of the arts, and the whole thing behind this project is that I think kids should have the same opportunities that I had, even if they're different. That's what we're doing, giving them opportunity to play music.
What touched you that this particular project is what you wanted to do?
Well, I actually have a 5-year-old cousin in California who has autism, and throughout his diagnosis 3 years ago and all of his treatment, my aunt has kept me really up to date on all of the new treatments and the people that are out there helping and all of that, and she helped me get in touch with a singer-songwriter in Nashville whose name is Tammy Weiss, who is a big head of the Autism Society where I live, and she has a daughter, Morgan, who has autism, and through Tammy and Morgan, I really got into the programs, and I've started my lessons, the curriculum that we're going to use with the kids on Morgan. I work with her every week, and she's helping us start out.
Cool.
So, hello again and welcome to Masterclass with me. I'm Quintin Stephens, and this is going to be an episode about different bend techniques. So, let's talk about bends. Now, a bend, as some of you may know, is basically taking a tone, striking that tone, and then physically pushing and bending the string up until you get another tone, another higher tone. For example, let me show you. Okay. What I'm physically doing is with my finger I'm fretting. For example, here I'm fretting the 3rd fret on the middle string, striking that string. And then I'm going to physically bend, push with my fingers, and push and bend that string up. Now the key here is you have to maintain pressure the whole time you're bending. So you'll fret the note, pluck, and then bend it. Okay? And that's all there is to the basic mechanics of a bend. Now, what does a bend help you accomplish? A bend does basically two things. Number one, it's a special effect. It gives a good sound, a good effect you can throw in to your playing. For example, You know. Now, yes, I could have gone, but the bend gives it a little oomph. Okay. The other thing that a bend helps you to do, especially on the dulcimer, is reach a note that you don't have. For example, once again, 3rd fret on the middle string is our D. If I needed a D sharp, I have no half fret to give me a D sharp, so I can just bend up. Okay, so you can use bends for multiple purposes. One thing that kind of separates the advanced player who knows how to do bends from a master player is knowing that there are different types of bends, and these different types of bends are used in different ways and in different places. The first bend that I've been showing you is what's called just a straight bend. Okay, it's starting from a tone, going up to another tone. Okay. Now, one way we can alter that just a little bit to make it sound better is to do what's called a stopped bend. So you're going to bend it, and then you're going to stop the tone at the end of the bend, like this. Okay? What I'm doing is at the end of the bend, I'm taking my pick and a little bit of the flesh on my fingers and retouching the string to stop it from vibrating. Okay? So that's a regular bend. Now the bend you may be more familiar with is what's called a bend and release. So you're literally going to strike the string, bend the tone up, and then release it. So it'll sound like this. Okay, so I'm going up and then coming back down, maintaining pressure the entire time so that the note rings out through the entire bend. Okay. Third type of bend is what's called a ghost bend. A ghost bend. What that means is that I'm going to basically pre-bend the string. I'm going to bend it, then I'm going to strike the string with my pick and going to sit there. So I'm gaining a note and hitting that note, but not bending up or down. So I'm going to bend it first, then hit it. Okay? Okay. So, what purpose is a ghost bend? Well, a ghost bend is used when you're reaching for a note that you don't have. You don't necessarily want to come up from another note, but you want to be able to reach that note exactly when it's needed. So you'll pre-bend and then strike the string so you don't hear the tone until you've reached the note. So, okay, so there's no, okay. Okay. Okay.
Well, that's our episode for this week. Thank you for joining us. Be sure to check in over at dpnews.com for the DP News Online audio podcast, also fresh this week. For Dulcimer Players News, I'm Ben Futch.